Okay, good morning, everyone. We're going to begin with today's class. Today, basically, what we want to do is just continue with the topic of translation. So, if we've looked at our objectives, we have already defined translation that it is a slide. The image does not change. The image stays exactly the same. It's just moved in position. We have talked about vertical and horizontal transformations. So, talking about if I have to move it to the left, to the right, to up, down, we have illustrated translations of regular shapes. Um, so, the shapes that we have been doing so far, the triangle and the quadrilateral, um, those were regular and irregular shapes. And then tomorrow we are going to be working with the last one, which is illustrating combined transformations. So now what we are going to be doing today is basically just closing off with the first learning activity. So learning activity number 1, that is what we want to accomplish right now. So let me open that one. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So there you go, the Jamboard. Everybody's ready. Can I begin with the with the learning activity for the second part of that one? Okay. So as I mentioned, guys, what we're doing is learning activity number 2. No, I'm sorry. It's learning activity 1, section 2. Learning activity 1, section 2. And the instructions is basically write a rule to describe each transformation. So we're going to begin looking at each transformation, and you want to be able to identify the rule. What is happening? Is it moving left? Is it moving right? Is it moving up? Is it moving down? All right. So let me see if I can zoom this a little bit more. Okay. So now let's take a look at this image where you have the black image being the original, the pre-image, and then the one in blue, then that one is the new image that has been produced. All right. So then now, if you take a look at what is happening here, if we take a look at what is happening here, oh my, right now. Okay. Take a look at what is where point Z is and where Z1 is, where K is and where K1 is, and then where I is and where I1 is. Now, what had to happen so that K1 is here, but then now moved here? What happened that I was there and then now moved here? And then the same thing with with Z, sorry. What happened to Z that Z was in one place and then moved to the other place? So now this is you have to be able to understand what is happening, right? If we take a look at K and K1, for me to be able to reach from K to K1, I had to move down and then I had to move to the right. Yes, everybody sees that? I had to move down and then I had to move to the right. How many spaces did I have to move down?
One is
One space. One space. And how many spaces did I have to move to the right?
two miss.
Two spaces. And then let's take a look at I. For I to move to I1, I had to move one space down and two spaces to the right. So that is my rule. That is what I have to write and state my rule to be. So now I am going to write it over here and I am going to be saying that it is 1 unit down and 2 units to the right. Any questions with this one?
No miss.
Is it clear? Did everybody understand how we got it? Let's take a look at the second one. Looking at the second one, sorry. Look at where V is and then V1, where T is and T1, I and I1, and J and J1. Who can tell me what happened to this shape? What movement happened?
It went up, miss.
It went up. How many units did it go up?
One miss.
1 unit up. And what else?
To the left, 1 unit to the
One
left.
unit miss.
1 unit to the left. And that's it. Yes? Any questions? Next one. If we take a look at this image, what happened to U that it ended up in U1, N to N1, and H to N1? What happened in this shape?
It went to the right.
One unit.
1 unit to the right. Anything else? Anything else happened to this shape?
No miss.
So then we leave it like that. That's all we have to write. Number 10. What happened that from A it went to A1, L to L1, and P to P1? How did this shape move?
1 unit to the left, miss.
1 unit to the left. Okay, good. And
3
Three
units
unit
up.
down miss.
3 units down. Yes? Number 11. What happened to this shape?
One unit
Two
up
units.
and two.
Is it 1 unit up? Remember, the original shape is the black. Then it moves to the blue. So in this case, it is 1 unit down and
2 units left, miss.
2 units to the left. In this one,
4 units up.
4 units up. Okay, good. And anything else?
Why that, miss?
No, miss.
Only that. 4 units up. Okay, and then that was the last question, right? Yep, you had six of them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So that was the second part to the activity. Anybody has any questions with this one?
No, miss.
Okay. So let me share. Share the step and step. Okay. So are you guys seeing the document?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
So this is assignment number 2. This is the last, and I'm stressing on the word last, it is the last graded activity for this cycle. Now, for this activity, you are being asked to create a booklet. Your booklet can be created virtually or can be created manually, right? So it all depends on what it is that you want to do and which one you feel more comfortable doing. If you are going to be doing a manual booklet, you need to take pictures of the entire booklet and of each page that is inside of that booklet. And I have specified what I want to see in this booklet. For those of you that will be doing an electronic copy, you are free to use a Word document, a Google Doc, or a Google Slide. If you want to be even more creative, I know that there are Google Slide templates that you can find online that look like a book, and you can just put your information in there. But it all depends on what it is that you want to do, right? Or if you use a Word document or a Google Doc, you design it however you want. But what I want to see in this booklet or on this booklet is first a cover page. Your cover page is worth 5 points just for having a page that has the title Combined Transformations. You get 5 points for having that. Page number 2, and it doesn't necessarily only have to be one page. You want to do one page for reflection, one page for rotation, one page for translation. That is up to you. But what I want to see is that you guys have a definition for what is reflection, what is rotation, and what is translation. And you could go back to the content that I have posted, the PowerPoints that have the information. And then if you are a package student, then the packages, you are still supposed to have the packages with you that have the information in the package. Um, and I want to see the definition, and you are going to get 3 points for each definition. You want to be even more creative, then you can insert a picture. You can copy the pictures that I have in the PowerPoint, and then you can put that as an example to just elaborate more on your definition. But it's 3 points for each definition. So reflection, and you tell me and you show me what it is. Rotation, tell me and show me what it is. And translation, tell me and show me what it is. And then now the following pages, you will have 4 graph sheets, one for each question below. And though I have those questions there, each graph is worth 3 points. Now, if you are going to be doing this manually, you can do it a page size, and you can do the graphs, the page size. If you're going to be doing electronically, you will still have to do the graphs, but you can take a picture and just insert it into whatever you're doing electronically. All right. And then it is 3 points for each of the points, 3 points for each point plotted. So let's take a look at that. 3 points for each point plotted. The first one has 3 points, 1, 2, 3, ALT, and you are gonna have three just for showing me what is A and showing me what is L and showing me what is T. I'm gonna give you 3 points for each one. For showing me image, the new image, I am gonna give you another 3 points. And for showing you the following image, I'm gonna give you another 3 points. So you're gonna have 9 times 3, 27 points for A, 27 points for B, 27 points for C, and 27 points for D. Because for each single point, A1, L1, T1, A2, L2, T2, I'm going to give you 3 points for just plotting those points. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, miss.
And
Yes, miss.
then, so then those are going to be 4 graphs. So those are going to be your following pages, the 4 graphs. And then now page 7 is a transformation in my life, which is the last page that I have attached in this document. Right here, transformation in my life. If you guys are doing it manually, you can either print this page and then you can just put this page there, or you can just do the page over. Those of you that are doing electronically, you can just copy this and then paste it in wherever it is that you're doing. Now, the transformation in my life, we have talked about this when we did the reflection before and after sin. I gave you guys the PowerPoint has this. You can go back to the PowerPoint. You can go back to the video of how I explained this and how I talked about this to you guys. Last week we talked about rotation, and my life rotates around what are things that your life rotates about and what should your life rotate around. And then this week, my life translates into, and I was talking specifically about restoration and how we can go back and slide ourselves back into our original intended form. So for each of these parts, you need to fill out and complete the sentence. My reflection before and after sin. You can go ahead and do the same thing that I have in the PowerPoint, which I have different pointers for before sin and after sin. My life rotates around, and you could just put words and phrases. What does your life rotate around? And then my life translates into, what does your life slide into or move into as you are growing and as you are learning more? So then these transformation in my life, it is 2 points for each word phrase. So it's a total of 24 points that I'm gonna be giving you there. So now, um, 24 points, you divide 24 by 3. How much does that give you? Anybody?
Clear, miss. Clear.
What is 24 divided by 3?
Eat, miss.
8. So I need to see, let me change this. I want to see 4 words, 4 for each section. And then I'm going to give you guys 4 points for each word because 8 words is a lot. So 4 words for each section. So I expect to see, wait a second, 4 words here, 4 words here, and 4 words here. And then you get 4 points for each word, right? And then that will be it. 3 points for each point plotted for each question. It is 27 points per question, right? And then I will just be fixing the points for this one. Anybody has any questions?
Clear, miss.
Okay. So now tomorrow, what are we going to be doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be a very important class because tomorrow we're going to be doing these 4 graphs. You need to have your graph sheet prepared already, right? So that you can go ahead and plot. And we will see, hopefully we have time to do all 4 of them. If not, then you will have to stay with at least doing 1 or 2 on your own. But we will see if we have time tomorrow for all 4 of them. I would suggest have your graphs ready. You can start working on your booklet, the other sections, the reflection, definitions, your cover page, the biblical part of this booklet. And then tomorrow it's only the graphs that need to be inserted. This is due on Friday at 2 o'clock. And I'm serious when I say 2 o'clock. I will start grading at 2 o'clock because next week is your your final reflective projects for each subject. We are not going to be having virtual classes. Um I have already posted the sections for celebration of learning. If you guys have taken a look at Google Classroom, then you guys should have noticed that all of that is already there for you guys to do. I have the information. Let me share this tab instead. Okay. So now this is the Google Classroom. I did post. Make sure that you guys fix this from this class from yesterday. It was a mistake that I had made when I was explaining that. Just make sure that you fix it on your graph. But this week, this unit 2 is basically finished this week. Then you have the celebration of learning, and you guys can see all of this. You have the document that explains it, and there is also a video for more and stressing of what it is that you need to do. There are three homeworks that you need to do for this part. The first part is that you will go back to everything that we have done when we talked about triangular trinity and when we talked about shaping our faith in God. And you are going to be choosing two homeworks that you have sent to me that you thought were your best homeworks, the one that you did the best on. And you will just screenshot it, or you can download it and you can upload it back here. So that's all you're going to be doing for this part. Your reflection, you need to write a one paragraph reflection. And in this document that I have here that says celebration of learning, that has the highlights, the questions are there. You can choose two or three questions that you're going to be using to answer your reflection. And in the reflection, you have to talk about the two words that you chose. You can't talk about something else. So if you want to talk about when we did symmetry and you guys had to find the things in nature that showed gliding symmetry, reflective symmetry, and that was one of the assignments that you think you did your best on, then in your reflection you're going to talk about that, answering the questions that you have chosen. And then the last part is a video presentation, and I'm going to stress on the word video. Video, not audio. Video of you. um and in the video you are gonna be explaining, not reading, stressing on these things. Video, not audio. Explain, not read, because these are the things that you need to understand so that you do this assignment successfully. All right. So in your video presentation, I expect you guys to be well groomed in your uniform or in a school t-shirt. And then that is you're going to be doing your video. You're going to talk about your two assignments, the two homeworks that you chose, and then you're going to talk about what you wrote in your reflection. You're not going to be reading your reflection. I can read. I am the teacher. Of course, I can read what you're going to write in your reflection. I don't need you to read it to me. You're going to explain to me what is happening there. And then you are going to send that to me. The video presentation cannot be more than 3 minutes and cannot be shorter than 1 minute. So at least 1 minute of you guys talking and showing me your homework and so forth. All right. And then this is the celebration of learning. So for next week, this is what you're going to be doing. We're not going to be having virtual classes. You guys are going to basically be working on your own, and you are going to be submitting these assignments next week, Friday. Anybody has any questions with this?
Okay.
Okay. After after next week Friday, in the following week, on the first week of November, you guys will be getting your report cards. And then you will have your grades and so forth. Um, but that will be it for this cycle. When you get your report cards officially on November 1st, we start teaching again and we go back to regular classes and the normalcy and teaching normally. So just this next week, week 10 that is coming, no virtual classes. You are working on your own. I expect to get these 3 assignments submitted to me on the due date. All right.
Miss school will reopen.
Um, the reopening of school is still something that we have a question mark on. Um we are not 100% sure. Up to right now, we are not going to be opening for the rest of this year, right, of 2021. That is something that we are sure of. Next year in January, February, we're not sure as yet. We are targeting because Ministry of Education said that we do have to open at some point. Each school has to open. Not when I say open, it doesn't mean that everybody has to go. We can open for maybe only for some students to go or only one farm to go. It all depends on what it is that we want to do as a school. But we also need to bear in mind that, let's say that, for example, let's say that we say that third farm is the farm that is chosen to go back to school, because third farm needs it. um, some of your parents still said no to going back to school, and we can't force you. So we can say that third farm can go back to school, but some of you that chose to stay home will have to stay home, and we will have to teach those that stay home and those that go to school. And then those are all of the things that we have to plan very carefully, because we don't want to just open school and have no idea what it is that we're going to be doing. So for the rest of 2021, we're going to continue online, but at some point next year, we do have to open, not necessarily for everyone. It can be just for a group or just for some students, or maybe just the students that are failing. We still have to think about what it is that we want to do when we open school. But we're going to continue online for now. Does that clarify your question? Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so guys, that will be it for today's class. I know we finished early. You should be happy we finished early today, because I only wanted to do the second part and explain the booklet and explain the celebration of learning. Tomorrow, though, I expect you guys to be on time so that we can finish the 4 graphs that are left for us to do tomorrow. All right. If nobody has any questions, you guys are free to leave.
Bye, Miss.
Bye,
Bye.
miss.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Miss.
Bye.